Morocco's most visited city, attracting tourists from all over the world. A city whose the old town, the Medina, is a UNESCO monument. An African city very close to Europe, offering an authentic experience of Morocco and a wide range of attractions. Today, I shall take you to Marrakesh. Hi, my name is Sebastian. I make videos in 3 languages, French, Polish and English, sharing practical travel tips. In this video, I will introduce you to 10, indeed 11 places I recommend you visit in Marrakesh. Included in this presentation, as usual, are some useful information that will help you make even better use of your time. There is a lot to see in Marrakesh, but I think the list I have prepared is optimal and very representative of the diversity the city has to offer. This is not a ranking, the order of the presented places is random. I hope you enjoy. The Koutoubia minaret is a 77-meter high tower made of hewn stone. It has stood in the heart of Marrakesh for more than 800 years, having been built in the 12th century. Its age, color, perfect proportions and balanced decorations make it one of the most recognizable minarets in the world. The name Koutoubia refers to the booksellers who used to have their manuscript stands in the vicinity of the mosque. At the site you will find information boards in 3 languages, English, French and Arabic. The information of them introduces you to the history and architecture of the building. The Koutoubia minaret is to Marrakesh what the Eiffel Tower is to Paris, an absolute symbol of the city. No newly constructed building can be taller than it. By virtue of its height, Koutoubia is also a landmark of sorts. Just 300 meters away is the famous Jemaa el-Fna square. The Koutoubia minaret looks different from each side, so it is worth looking at it from different angles. It can be an interesting experience to contemplate the monument at the time of one of the calls to prayer. The Majorelle Garden was founded nearly a century ago by French painter Jacques Majorelle. In 1980, Yves Saint Laurent and his partner Pierre Berger became the new owners of the place, developed it and enriched it with new plant species. Today, the Majorelle Garden covers an area of nearly 1 hectare and is a very popular attraction in Marrakesh. Within this relatively small garden, one will be delighted by magnificent cacti, bamboos, water lilies and palm trees. In total, about 300 species of plants from different parts of the world. With the greenery of the plants, there is a striking rhyme of the abundant deep blue color, promoted by the creator of the garden and called, till nowadays, Majorelle's Blue. Within the garden, in the artist's former studio, is the Berber Art Museum. On an area of 200 square meters, 600 exhibits are presented. This excellent museum is small, but absolutely worth visiting. It's a great pity that neither photography nor filming is allowed inside. You should ask for a ticket to the Berber Art Museum at the ticket office when buying a ticket to the garden. Once you enter the garden, you will no longer be able to purchase a ticket to the museum. In my opinion, you should plan to spend at least 45 minutes at the Majorelle Garden, and concerning the Berber Museum, I think 30 minutes is enough. The best time to visit the garden is in the morning, the first hour right after opening. This way you will avoid crowds in the garden and long queues for the ticket offices. A madrasa, in the simplest terms, is a traditional religious school or college for the study of the religion of Islam and law, but also other areas of study. The Medersa Ben Youssef in Marrakesh was founded in the 16th century. It was a thriving center of education, giving knowledge and a roof over the heads of nearly 800 students at once. Young people came here from all corners of Morocco to expand their knowledge. It functioned as a school until as late as 1960. Today, it is a great monument of Moroccan architecture and culture. The madrasa consists of an inner courtyard with a basin and adjoining rooms located on the first and second floors. Adjacent to the east side of the courtyard is a splendidly decorated prayer hall and an ornate mihrab, with a niche that indicates the direction to Mecca, the holiest city of Muslims. The Medersa Ben Youssef impresses with its rich ornamentation, which includes mosaics, stucco, calligraphy, marble and wood. There is one entrance to the complex from a small street. At the entrance, there is a basic information in 4 languages. While in the madrasa, it is worth going upstairs to visit the rooms that once served as rooms for students. You can also take interesting pictures from those rooms. Jemaa el-Fna Square is located about 300 meters from the Koutoubia minaret. In the past, it was a shopping plaza, a place for public executions, social gatherings, and one big open-air spectacle. Today, it impresses with its unique atmosphere, filled with human energy. You can see many street performers, monkey trainers, snake charmers, acrobats, musicians, storytellers, with interested listeners and casual onlookers gathered around them. In 2008, it was added to UNESCO's list of intangible heritage of humanity. It is also a place where you can dine in a very authentic and exotic setting of simple open-air eateries. They offer a wide selection of attractive dishes including couscous, pastilla, tagine, cous others, brains, mutton heads, snails, and so on. During the day, the square is relatively quiet. In the evening, the atmosphere picks up pace and color. In my opinion, it's good to be here in the late afternoon and stay at least until sunset. As dusk arrives, you can participate in the remarkable metamorphosis of the square. At that time, part of the square is occupied by dozens of eateries, and a colorful crowd begins to fill the square. Jemaa el-Fna Square is bustling every day until late in the evening, often until midnight or even longer. The ideal place to observe the square is the terrace of Café Glacier, with the entire square at your feet. The Museum of Photography, or rather the House of Photography, is a private museum located in the center of the Medina. It was established in 2009 and is situated in a building that formerly served as a merchant's inn. The rooms are located around an inner courtyard forming an exhibition space. The museum's collection includes more than 10,000 photographs from 1870 to 1950. Their authors include well-known photographers such as George Washington Wilson from Scotland and French photographer Marcel Flandrin, as well as travelers enamored with Morocco. The photos depict landscapes, portraits, architecture, Moroccan cities and local traditions. A visit to the Museum of Photography is a fascinating trip back in time. Looking at photos from decades, even 100 years ago, we discover the cultural and historical richness of Morocco. A visit to this place is well worth it during a trip to Morocco. There is a small restaurant at the terrace of the museum with an attractive view of the countryside. The museum is open every day. The Yves Saint Laurent Museum in Marrakesh opened in 2017, and the museum's architecture won in the 2018 Design Award for the best newly built public building from British Design magazine Wallpaper. The museum's permanent exhibition is dedicated to 40 years of creative work by the fashion house Yves Saint Laurent. The exhibition consists of sketches, photographs, fashion accessories and outfits from Yves Saint Laurent's private collections. The exhibition is a journey through the artist's sources of inspiration. At the center of the exhibition are about 50 fashion creations that celebrate themes such as gardens, travel and Africa, all perfectly displayed. The museum building also houses a temporary exhibition hall, a photo gallery, an auditorium and bookstore, and a cafe-restaurant. It is worth visiting the auditorium, where an interesting film of several minutes is presented, telling the story of the designer's early career and successes. A tour of the museum takes about 45 minutes on average. The Yves Saint Laurent Museum is located on Yves Saint Laurent Street and is only 100 meters from the entrance to the Majorelle Garden and Berber Art Museum. So if you are planning a visit to the Yves Saint Laurent Museum, it is worth combining it with a visit to these two other places of interest, especially as a combined ticket to all three costs less than buying a ticket to see each of them separately. Ask for details at the ticket office. The Medina, otherwise known as the Old Town, consists of commercial and residential districts with mosques, baths, squares, all surrounded by equally ancient walls. Marrakesh's Medina is unique. Its area is more than 600 hectares and the walls are 19 kilometers long. Within the Medina are the Koutoubia minaret, el-Fna square, the Medersa Ben Youssef, and the photography museum presented in this video. The old part of the city is very well preserved. It was listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985. Walking through the Medina of Marrakesh, you can feel the atmosphere of a traditional Moroccan city. A special place are the shopping districts or souks, where you will find an array of goods, many of which are locally made handcrafts. The local goods that are sold, as well as the large and varied selection of things to buy, make Marrakesh one of the best places for shopping in Morocco. Walking between the stalls, we discover something different and new every time. Craftsmanship in Marrakesh, fortunately for us, is evolving, and the range of stores is often tailored to the tastes of visitors. Walking around the Medina, it is sometimes worth stopping for a coffee, a glass of juice or a meal in one of the many stylish cafes or restaurants. Most of them have terraces from which you can enjoy a panoramic view of the Medina from above. Amina Garden was opened in 2016. It is located 30 kilometers from the center of Marrakesh. You can get to the garden on your own, either by using the local taxi service or the free transportation included in the ticket price. Transportation to the garden, there and back, runs twice a day. To go from the city, it is necessary to book a seat in advance through the garden's website. The creator of the garden is the multi-talented Vienna-born artist Andre Heller. The Amina Garden is a magical place that invites contemplation and is both sensual and inspiring. It is a place for all those who want to experience something unforgettable. Amidst the garden's greenery, sculptures by internationally renowned artists are displayed, including works by Pablo Picasso. The garden covers an area of nearly 3 hectares. There is a cafe in the garden which serves lunch as well as coffee and juices, all at very reasonable prices. The cafe terrace, which offers a view of the high Atlas Mountains, is also worth a visit. Bahia Palace was built in the 19th century and covers an area of 8 hectares. In the past, it was the residence of the viziers, the French Marshal Yotet during the French Protectorate, and the King Mohammed V. Today, it is one of the most visited monuments in Morocco. The name of this magnificent residence, Bahia, is said to refer to the nickname of the vizier's beloved wife and means dazzling. The palace is an example of traditional Moroccan architecture, where rooms are clustered around open courtyards. Some of the courtyards act as a kind of indoor garden, providing a sanctuary of fresh air and shade. Bahia Palace impresses with its richness of decoration. Here you will see plaster stucco covering the walls, marbles, mosaics and Arabic writing displaying religious content. The exceptionally grand ceilings, meanwhile, are made of cedar wood. A visit to Bahia Palace allows you to witness the architecture of traditional Moroccan places, marvel at the ornamentation and enjoy the charm of the interior gardens. The palace is open every day. The Menara Garden was established as early as the 12th century during the Almohad dynasty, when Marrakesh was the country's capital. The Menara Garden covers an area of nearly 100 hectares. Most of the garden is made up of olive groves, while the trees are planted in rows. The central part of the garden is occupied by a vast reservoir. The reservoir is located slightly above the level of the crops, which makes it easier to irrigate them. On the south bank of the reservoir, there is a pavilion dating back to the 19th century, which is open to the public for a small entrance fee. Inside the pavilion, there are traditional decorations and beautiful cedar wood ceilings. The first floor terrace overlooks the reservoir and the garden. The Menara Garden, along with the Medina of Marrakesh, has been a UNESCO heritage site since 1985. Within the grounds of the garden, a local artist can write your name in Arabic calligraphy, a nice souvenir of Morocco. The Menara Garden is located away from the hustle and bustle of the city and is an ideal place for a stroll. The Menara Garden is open every day and, except for the pavilion, admission is free. This place was not in my original itinerary for Marrakesh, but I discovered it by chance while walking around the city. I ended up there by accident on the first day it opened and was enchanted by what I saw, so decided to share it with you. The Museum of Ornaments and Costumes is a new place on the map of Marrakesh. There you can see some 3,000 exhibits that are part of the rich private collection of Marland and Paolo Gallone. Among the items on display are jewelry, ornaments and costumes. They come from more than 50 countries, from Morocco through Namibia, Jordan to Japan. They highlight the value, diversity and uniqueness of more than 100 different cultures, all perfectly displayed. The place is fantastic and well worth a visit. The items on display are extremely impressive. This quaint museum has a terrace with an excellent view of the rooftops of the Medina and a cafe with a restaurant. Note please that the museum is closed on Monday. This was a presentation of 11 places in Marrakesh that I think are absolutely worth seeing. I hope you enjoyed and find it helpful. If you know any of these places, please share your opinion with others and leave a comment. If you want to discover some more interesting places in Morocco, in Poland or wherever, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel and enable notifications. That way you will always be up to date with my videos and top travel tips. Thank you for watching this video and see you soon!